Hi everybody, Cohh here with another thoughts video, this time for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is a game by Respawn Entertainment, a company that has made many games that I've enjoyed in the past. I came in kind of skeptical, to be honest. They showed this at E3, and to put it bluntly, what I saw at E3 didn't have me very excited. A lot of the levels looked rather contrived instead of organic. The combat looked good, but that was about it. And when I first saw this game, I was pretty concerned that it wasn't going to reach the level that I normally expect and enjoy from Star Wars games. However, now that I've finished the game, I can say that this game very much pleasantly surprised me. This game has exceptionally excellent lightsaber combat, which is something that I've always liked to see in Star Wars games, but this game does it particularly well. It did just last us over 21 hours, and there were certainly more things we could have done. Each level is tracked via percentages and chest percentages and secret found. So if you want to go back and do like 100%, you can easily do that. The levels, although at times got a little bit corridory, if you know what I mean, where you just kind of get locked into paths, were at the end of the day very expansive. Some of the levels were just pretty incredible to work through. They had great scenic views that you could pan around and check out. Some of the locations were very cool, like fighting through downed ships and, you know, ancient temples on planets, and those were top notch. And definitely by the end of them, I was really kind of enjoying getting to the new locations and going through them. The enemy variety was okay. It was above average, I'd say, but certainly could have had some more bosses and things of that nature. The progression of force powers and everything was pretty fun. Mostly, by the way, force powers are just kind of like getting equipment in a Metroidvania. So the main reason and the main drive to get force powers, although you can use them in combat and you can upgrade them via a progression-based skill system to become more powerful and such, most of them are there to kind of unlock new areas, get you to new places on maps and things of that nature. It is important to mention also that even though the game is semi-open world, it is kind of Metroidvania in style where you can go back and explore worlds when you get new force powers to kind of unlock new areas, get new secrets, new power-ups, things like that. And that was pretty cool. So what I will say, for what the game was and for what it is, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun. I was basically cheering during some parts at the end of the game. I had a huge smile on my face the entire time. It has an extremely likable companion character named BD1 who I really enjoyed. And frankly, just the overall experience was really fun, really solid, and really good. And couple that with probably one of the best lightsaber combat systems I've used so far, I definitely really enjoyed it. All of that being said, I also feel like there were a lot of missed opportunities in this game. They did such a good job on some parts of it that it almost made the lack of some things stand out. Now, before I continue, I do want to make very clear that the next things I'm going to say are preferential. I'm not saying the game is bad because of the things I'm about to mention, but I will say that it definitely affected how I was seeing the game at times. So for instance, one of the big things I'll say, there's no actual loot in this game. There are chests everywhere, which makes me think at some point during development, maybe they wanted a deeper and more robust system, but everything you find is just skins, colors for the items you already have. And that kind of drove me a little bit crazy. I felt like it was extremely shallow, where there could have been much more interesting things, maybe a full equipment menu, maybe physically different looking cosmetics like robes and, you know, jackets and stuff. But all they really are, almost all the loot in the game, is just different skins for your clothes. And then you can also find lightsaber components, which you can spec out your lightsaber, but the specking out does nothing. So, you know, I was very much expecting, for instance, they have this really cool system where you can zoom in on your lightsaber and you can switch out like the hilt and you can switch out the top part and the emitters. And when I saw that, I immediately went, oh my God, I'm going to be able to make like a super damaging lightsaber, or maybe a super fast one, or maybe one that blocks really well, or maybe one that adds to my dodging. Turned out it was nothing like that. It's simply cosmetic. And that was kind of a letdown because so much of the other game is so cool that I felt like the extreme shallowness in the character itself, the gear on the character, even the skill system which honestly, at the end of the day, the skill system, it's not, it's called, I think they call it a skill tree, but it's not really. It's more of just a skill progression. You just kind of work down it and eventually unlock everything. It's by no means something that you kind of like decide or spec or pick. It's just kind of like, what do you want in what order, but eventually you're just going to have everything. So again, it is an adventure game and it is an action game, and it does that part well. And I really, really like that. But preferentially, I feel like this was kind of a missed opportunity. Kind of the same way I feel about Sea of Thieves. Like, Sea of Thieves kind of does what it does well, but it does so little that it's kind of like, it could have been so cool. It's just not there. Now, of course, the base part of this game, in my opinion, is light years from the baseline of Sea of Thieves. I don't mean to make a comparison between the two games, but I feel like it could have been so much more if they went just a little bit deeper with some of the customization, a little bit deeper with some of the equipment and things of that nature. It is also important to mention that this is not a well, no, I guess this isn't a spoiler. I'm not gonna get too far into it, but let me just say, I got the question a lot during this playthrough: can you be bad? Can you be evil? And without spoiling it, the answer is no. This is a linear story adventure. You are there to play through a story. So the reason I say that, and the reason I say it's not a spoiler, is because I feel like in a lot of previous Star Wars games, there was a lot of attention dealt to being able to make your own path. And I want folks to understand, especially that are thinking of buying the game, this is not that kind of game. It does what it does exceptionally well, but what it does is rather limited in scope. So I feel like kind of goes for the whole game. It's like a vertical slice of awesomeness, but at the same time, it's a vertical slice. So there's not quite as much girth as one may like in a Star Wars game. But I will say this. This is going to be the last thing to close out the thoughts video here. Respawn killed it with this. All the parts that were in it were really, really well done. It definitely surpassed my expectations after seeing all the E3 stuff and everything. And frankly, I am leaving this game really looking forward to hopefully many more games in this franchise. I'm hoping we're going to see more Star Wars Jedi : blah. Like, hopefully another 2 or 3 games. I'm sure we'll get DLCs and things of that nature. But this was cool. This was really cool. And I think that if all the invested parties are interested, I could see this as kind of like the big new franchise for Star Wars. You know, you throw in some equipment and some customization and some choice in the next one, and that's when we're going to be talking about Game of the Year stuff. 3 for good measure. There it is. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. Again, a big shout out to Respawn. This was a lot of fun. It was a very well-made Star Wars game. And if you are picking it up yourself, I hope you enjoy it. Stop by the channel. Let us know how your playthrough's going. And yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch another Thoughts video. Have an absolutely awesome rest of your day. Hope to see you over at twitch.tv/CohhCarnage. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.